This video is part of the GiantLeap project. It's an overview of application source files. The whole Giant system is based on text files. We'll go from simple code tables through control files into the program development environment. There are about a dozen code table files with the TAB extension. They define a list of codes and the associated description. For example, the Bank tab defines transaction codes that will be used in the bank database. There are about a half dozen file definitions with FD extension. These define database files with lines containing field length, data type, and field name. In the Bank FD, you can see the connection to the Bank tab file mentioned earlier. Giant has window definition files with WD extension. Most are simple query screens and easily modified. A few are menu and data entry screens, and these have a more complicated field structure. The top section is a simple background text labels. Nothing fancy, just enough to get the job done. The bottom section is fields with row, column, length, followed by field name. Notice the example mentions both database fields and other user interface fields. The setup syscontrol file is full of specific settings to customize Giant for a user site. Settings like database location, company name, and hundreds of other things. Somebody needs to customize this file for every installation. There may be a dozen other control files with names like level 1 sys, main sys, and GL sys that define what happens when menu options are pressed. These files contain Giant script commands with many weird parameters. Now we will change from configuration files that control the Giant executable to looking at the Java-like program that creates the executable. Giant is based on a programming language called Lazarus, which is similar to Java. The G9 LPR file is a small text file that gets the application program started. Here you can see all the Giant script commands. Higher level application logic connects with the computer hardware through the G9 base pass module. This is where all the operating system calls are located, along with many internal methods. The G9 report pass module implements many script commands to create analysis reports and business forums. You're invited to make additions and changes to this module. Danger, there be dragons here. The G9 edit pass module implements the database editor command with complicated logic. Be careful when working on this code to avoid corrupt database files or crashing user interface screens. For electronic trading with large companies, the G9 EDI pass module implements ANSI X12 ordering and billing, not used by most sites, but required by a few. The latest addition to Giant, and it's only 20 years old, the G9 Web Pass module provides database order entry and tracking, as well as database publishing and form fill functions. In summary, the Giant system totals about 50,000 lines of code in 150 files. It's all text files that are used to define codes, database contents, screen definitions, control files, and the application program itself. Every installation gets their own setup sys file. Some sites may have custom changes to other control files. When that doesn't work, use the open source Lazarus compiler to change the core executable. It's all text files and small enough you can learn to see what's inside.